Alright, so today I'm doing the PLAR video case study for a client here, Sarah. So kind of today I'm going to go through the case study, which has given some information on the client, a little background on the client, setting SMART goals, using that approach to help our client reach their goals, and kind of go from there on the goal setting in terms of what I could interpret her goals as being. Then we're going to go into kind of her maybe some risk profiles due to medical conditions, health concerns, anything like that. Kind of then how that's going to affect the program I put together for her. An assessment was already provided through the case study information, and that was the modified bruise test. We got some numbers there for her to kind of base our program, heart rate programs off of. And then kind of some positive lifestyle changes we can bring in to help her meet those goals and to go from there. So kind of an intro on our client here, 28-year-old police officer named Sarah. She's been with the police force for about 7 years now. She's BMI is 23.4, so it's in the normal range, not overly heavy or anything. So it's not an overweight client we're dealing with, relatively young, as I said, 28 years old. Over the past time in the police force, though, she's kind of noticed she's fitness level has dropped per se to what it was because of career demands, family. She has 2 kids. She's separated, so there's a few variables that have kind of limited her ability to keep herself in physical shape. So a little bit of a medical background on the client here. She was a previous smoker. She hasn't smoked for 3 years, but prior to that, 4 years, she's a pack-a-day smoker. So she was a regular smoker at some point. She's been trying to lose weight. She's kind of does the one big meal a day thing, probably just lack of planning with work, kids. So she hasn't really lost weight. In fact, in the past few years, she's gained 7 kilograms, so about 15 pounds. So there's been some weight gain there. Her father, family history here, her father passed away at the age of 52 due to a heart condition, which is quite young. Her brother, 36, has high blood pressure, so there's definitely hereditary traits there for heart. Her cholesterol ratio is 5.9, so that is can be a flag there. And she mentioned she gets slightly dizzy when she stands up, and kind of probably throughout the day because of only eating 1 meal a day, so her blood sugar would drop pretty low and probably cause some dizziness, lightheadedness. So the 3 primary goals here I was able to interpret through Sarah's information here. One being her just overall fitness level, just an improvement there, I think, is what she really feels is necessary. Secondary, weight loss. She mentioned she'd gained 7 kilograms. And finally, positive lifestyle changes. And we'll get more into that, but I feel that's probably going to be the biggest one to helping her reach any other goal for her, okay? So fitness level, as she said, when she passed the police academy, she was in pretty good shape. She felt she'd went through the test, and now she wouldn't be able to. So I think definitely that's a very specific goal, improve overall fitness level, measurable. I'd feel she could run something similar to her police testing to test herself, measurable, right? Measure herself back to where she was at that point. And time frame and realistic, I definitely feel it's realistic for her to improve her fitness level to what it was prior a few years ago, because like I said, she's 28 years old, so it's not like we're dealing with an older person. She's not drastically overweight at all, really, and I feel with some positive changes, that could very easily be a reality to help her out with that. She mentioned she had been running 3 days a week, kind of back when she was in shape, for roughly 30 minutes, a time, and she could do that quite easily, whereas now she wouldn't be able to. So, I mean, you can measure based on her running ability, her overall fitness level, and if you want to bring in the police testing there, that could be a very markable way to see where she's at physically. Weight loss, again, obviously the scale is going to be your biggest measurement of that. The 7 kilograms she's gained wouldn't, I would imagine, would not be a problem bringing that off pretty quickly. Time frame, she kind of mentioned 3 months was the time she's allowing herself, and she may not lose all that weight in 3 months, but I definitely feel 3 months is enough time to get the ball rolling and kind of get her going into positive lifestyle changes and kind of routines that are going to help her attain that weight loss. So that's probably goal number 2. And then finally here, tying it all together, third goal, which I probably think is the most overall important and will lead to her greatest success, is just an overall lifestyle change. So not necessarily a diet or a fitness trend of 3 months, but really changing her lifestyle to help her reach these goals. And that's just going to mean making herself priority to prepare meals, take to work with her kids, healthy eating, not going for the convenience of grabbing fast food on her way home from work, but actually preparing and taking time to prepare proper food, and getting some consistency there along with her eating habits, as not in terms of just the food, but as in terms of consistently eating through the day. And that, I think, will definitely bring her more energy, bring her more energy throughout the day, probably alleviate a lot of the lightheadedness during, like she mentioned, she gets. And just she mentioned she'll unwind usually with a glass of wine at night. So I mean, it's probably not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, if she could maybe start cutting that in half and then maybe drop it to once every 5 days and maybe once a week, that will be a huge factor, I feel, as well. Just cutting out that alcohol there at night, or limiting our consumption at least to what it is now. So the positive lifestyle change, I feel, is definitely the biggest thing, and that's what I've really noticed is where you see the most success, right? You'll get some people that'll really all in for 2 months and then they just fall off the map, done, and they never really get those lasting results. Whereas when people really make the effort to put in the lifestyle change, eating consistently, eating healthy consistently, exercising, getting on a solid routines, those are the people that get the long-term success. So I really feel that the lifestyle changes being her A goal will bring all her goals into to fruition for sure. All right. So as I mentioned earlier there were some risk flags with her cardiovascular, not necessarily disease, but risk profile. And as I said, her father passed away at age 52 because of a heart condition. Her brother has high blood pressure at the age of 36. She's approaching, if not in the higher blood pressure kind of level, with a 140 over 82 blood pressure. And she's definitely not getting, the 150 recommended minutes by the ACSM's fitness, outline recommended daily expenditure there. So yes, so there's a few flags that definitely could be improved upon there, and which kind of leads us into our program design with a client that has those conditions. I feel the kind of some things we have to keep in mind, some factors we have to keep in mind when designing a program. Is I feel wearing a heart rate would be very beneficial for that client. So monitoring their heart rate when they're on the treadmill, when they're lifting weights, not allowing them to feel lightheaded, dizzy, nauseous. So always kind of monitoring their level and how they're feeling, so to speak. Okay. Probably limiting to where they're really dipping their head low and getting that head rush, like where the head's going well below the heart, such as a back extension, something like that. That could probably lead to more lightheaded, dizziness, and cause some discomfort for the client. So those are things we could keep in mind. Some monitoring devices, like I said, heart rate monitor will definitely benefit her as well, just to keep track of that as she's working out. So, and as I mentioned earlier, there in the provided information, Sarah completed a physical assessment. That assessment was the modified Bruce test, so a walking test on treadmill. And anyway, she got to stage 4 at 3 minutes a stage. Heart rate, blood pressure, and RPE, rate of perceived exertion, all kind of linear progressed. So there's no big red flags there. And like I said, she ended at stage 4 at 2.5 miles per hour and a 12% grade. And the test was terminated due to fatigue. So nothing really crazy there. That kind of puts her in the normal physical level fitness range. So very, very average there. So by finding that, you know, her heart rate and applying that using our heart rate reserve method, we can kind of figure out the zones ideally we want Sarah to be working within. So like I said, using the heart rate reserve method, we can determine kind of by the formula here that heart rate will be, she can comfortably work in around the 132 range ideally, right? So slight variance there's obviously acceptable, but keeping it around the 132 level. And she mentioned she likes to enjoys outdoor walking, so she can you know, do that with her kids. That can be kind of an activity, healthy, active lifestyle change approach. And if she's wearing her monitor, she can work in the 64 to 74-ish% range, kind of the normal range, and that would put her in the 114 to 141 heart rate level. So that will that's the way I kind of set up the program. Those walking days, she can do 3 to 5 days a week, and then she'll be training with the trainer, myself, 2 days a week lifting weights. So they'll keep her active, 4 to 6 days a week, allowing rest, 1 or 2 rest days. So that's definitely going to improve her base level conditioning. And then as she progresses, she can move into more jogging, running, that kind of stuff. So the program I was able to put together for Sarah here, it's I kind of scheduled it to take place again with shift work and a kid's busy schedule. You never really know what's going to work for the client. So I kind of put it together as lifting weights, resistance training, on Mondays and Fridays, I believe. And then she can walk on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. So it'll allow Wednesday and Sunday as kind of an off rest day. So the style of workout I put together was just kind of a basic full body workout, compound movements, kind of getting everything working, vertical loading fashion. So there, as I mentioned, walking dumbbell lunges, pull downs, leg curls. So it's kind of alternating upper body, lower body, vertical loading fashion, and pairing, like I said, upper body, lower body to agonist, antagonist muscle groups. That'll allow rest, so the client's not feeling fatigued as if they can't get through the workout just due to fatigue. So that'll allow rest time between muscle groups. Tempo is pretty standard. Rest 75 seconds, and like I said, as she kind of progresses, gets in better shape, the rest times can be brought down to improve her conditioning. And then obviously, say after 3-4 weeks, we'll switch up the program with different exercises, and then adjust again variables, the acute variables, the tempo, exercise selection, rest, sets, reps. So, but a very basic 3 sets, higher reps to kind of build up some muscular endurance, work capacity. And as she develops that, then we can move into more specialized programs, so to speak, as opposed to general preparation programs. And yeah, like as mentioned there, her schedule is busy. Single mother, 2 kids, possible shift work, but full time regardless. So the days I kind of laid out for her may not be exactly as follows, but she can fit them in where when necessary, when can work for her. And 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 she can go from there, and based on her recovery and how she feels. So in concluding here, I would say Sarah definitely kind of follows the normal society, if you will, of busy lifestyle, kids, single parent. There's a lot of factors that she's got to work against, but I feel with positive lifestyle changes and applying our smart goal approach, and she can definitely achieve her goals without a doubt achieve her goals within a fairly reasonable time frame, because like I said, she's not an old client we're dealing with. She's been at a higher fitness level before, and it's just been lifestyle that's kind of held her back to achieving those goals. So with a little more consistency, as I mentioned, with her nutrition, timing, eating throughout the day, as well as food quality, not the convenient thing, but pre-preparing to take to work with her, and implementing, the walking program, physical changing, I without a doubt believe Sarah can bring her fitness level to the next kind of step here and progress at a fairly good pace. And yeah, the family hereditary heart conditions, as long as they're monitored, with the heart rate monitor, and she feels like she's not dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous during or after workouts, I absolutely feel that she can achieve these goals, and they're very, very realistic. So in conclusion, that's the video case study for the PLAR submission, and I hope that works. Thanks.